Hey parents, this is Miss Thomas and Mr. Price. She's Miss Thomas, I'm Mr. Price.
Right.
Yep, coming to you. We just want to give you guys some information. We're going to have orientation here on Thursday. There's a bunch of information that we're going to have to go through, and so as you guys are well aware, it takes a lot to keep a building of 1,000 kids and 140 staff members moving in the right direction. And so we want to bring you some information that we feel like is going to help make things go smoothly this year. So the first thing that we want to talk about, what is that, Miss Thomas?
Communication.
That's right. There's a bunch of communication that comes from our school, and we want to make sure that we keep you informed about what is going on. So, Miss Thomas, tell them what are some of the ways that we communicate with them?
Okay, so some of the main ways that you will receive communication from us this year will be from one way is the most popular way is from our Facebook page. Mm-hmm. So if you are not yet a member of our Facebook page, please sign on to Facebook and like West Navarre Primary Stars. That is the most current and up-to-date information that we will have for you.
That's right. We do also put stuff out through automated call-outs. There are also emails that we can send if your email is loaded into our system. And then our teachers send a lot of information home through student folders, and so that is definitely a popular way for us to reach out to you. And then, Ms. Thomas, we're also doing some work in social media, so talk to them not only about Facebook, but some of the other ways that we may be communicating.
Okay, so that's right. So, like I had said about Facebook, we also do have a Twitter app, as our Twitter as well. Same handle on Twitter, which is WNPS Stars. The same information is shared on Facebook as it is on Twitter. We also have an Instagram account at WNPS Stars that we like to post some pictures occasionally of things that we see happening throughout the building. So make sure that you are logged on and plugged in to our social media as well, because that is the most current and most up-to-date communication that we will get you. One thing that I would like to remind you is when you do get those automated calls, it will ask you to press 1 to hear the message.
Yep,
Please
press 1.
Press 1.
You want to hear the message, for sure. Also, parents, we just wanted to make you aware when it comes to phone stuff, that is usually, if we've got to get a hold of you individually, that is usually the first way that we're going to reach out. And so it would really help us out if you would make sure you keep your phone numbers current with us so that we can get a hold of you when we need to. Miss Connie, there she is. She would really appreciate that, and so that would help us out. Also, as with anything in the school, if there are questions that you have, or things you want to discuss, your child's teacher is your first point of contact and the person that you should reach out to first. She will be able to help you with most anything that you need, and if there's something that she doesn't know, she will be able to put you in touch with the right folks.
You guys, we are out here on the bus ramp, and I'm hot, so I'm not going to be able to stand here for very long, but we do want to bring you some very important information about transportation every day. Please make sure that we know how your child is going home each and every day. It's important that we know that, and if there are any changes that need to be made, those changes need to be made
in writing.
In writing. Can they call the front office and just tell them that we have a change?
No. We need that in writing.
We need it in writing because we don't know who the person is on the other end of the phone, and we want to make sure that we are protecting and keeping your child safe every day. For orientation, bus rider information and car rider tags will be available in the cafeteria 30 minutes prior and 30 minutes after your orientation time. Please make sure you stop by the cafeteria if you have any questions about that. If you are a returning car rider, you do not need a new tag. We've got you on file. You will use the same tag as last year. New car riders, come by the cafeteria. We'll get you a new tag. If you've lost yours, stop by the cafeteria. We'll get you a new one, but it will cost $2.
Maybe you know what movie reference that is.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll give a gold star. Whoever can get to us first and tell us what movie that is.
Yes.
All right.
Your car tag will be free.
Oh, look at that. Bonus. All right, first one up. So, a couple of other things, parents. The first 2 weeks, first 4 weeks of the year is very difficult on our transportation processes and folks. Bus drivers are doing their dead level best to get your kiddos to the right place and on time. But it is hard working with primary students because a lot of times that bus driver will ask them what house they live in, and they say the white one with the car out front. And so it is challenging for them, so we'd ask for a little bit of patience. Additionally, in the car rider line, as kids learn the processes and learn their numbers and when they're supposed to jump up and go, so please be patient with us as we work through those things. Also, if your kiddo is a bus rider, we would ask that you go ahead and download the Safe Stop app if you have not done so already. That will give you up-to-the-minute information about where your kiddo is and what's going on. So please look in your app store, whichever provider you have, and download that app. That will make life a whole lot easier for you. You will need your child's 10-digit student ID number.
And as a side note there too, in the cafeteria, we will have a QR code available so you can scan for the app. And we will also have 10-digit account number, student ID numbers in the cafeteria the day of orientation. Also, if you check out our Facebook page that we mentioned earlier, there is also a flyer there with information about how to get that Safe Stop app.
Yep, cool. Thank you, Ms. Thomas,
You're
for
welcome.
that. Also, parents, just a reminder for those who may be working through some custody things. If you have specific custody concerns about your kiddo, we need to know that. Your child's teacher needs to know that, and we do need a copy of that paperwork in the office. A lot of times those things come up when we're dealing with transportation issues, so we wanted to make you aware of that now. So you can help us by providing that information to the school. Hey guys.
Let's talk about the schedule.
Oh, you want to talk about the schedule?
I do want to talk about the schedule.
All right. Schedule's important.
It is important. It's always important to be on time.
That's right.
And to show that you are a responsible person.
Yeah, that's right. So, the schedule. Parents, our doors open at 7:50 this year. That is a 5-minute change from last year. So we're going to open those front doors behind us at 7:50 in the morning. And the kids will come into the building. Where can they go when they come into the building, Ms.
Well,
Thomas?
they can go to breakfast if they would like to go to breakfast, or they can go ahead and they could go to the media center. The media center is also open.
Yep.
Or they could go to their teacher's classroom right outside their classroom door, where their teacher will be anxiously awaiting on them.
That's right. So they will sit outside their classrooms until 8:10, and at 8:10 a bell will ring. And those teachers will come out and welcome their children into the classroom. That is when our routines really and truly start for the day. And then, Ms. Thomas, what time does the tardy bell ring?
Tardy bell this year, 8:20.
Yep.
5 minutes earlier this year than last year. So 8:20 is the time to be at school.
That's right. Set your alarms, parents. And so the other thing you need to know about our schedule, parents, we do have PE and recess every single day. Yep, every day. So please make sure you send your children in PE and recess appropriate shoes, tennis shoes, closed-toed. We want to make sure that they don't get hurt while they are out there. Also, art and music are on a 9-day rotation, so that means that 1 day out of every 9 they will go to
art,
and then 1 day out of every 9 they will go to
music.
That's right.
And on those days, they will also go to PE.
That's right, PE. So, a couple of other dress code reminders since we're here and talking about it. Like we said, tennis shoes daily. That would be helpful for your kiddos. Also, there are other additional dress code information in the student handbook, which is available online and on the back of your child's folder that you should receive at orientation. And then parents, also, we would ask you to be mindful of your attire when you're in the building. We do have school-aged kiddos, so just make sure that you adhere to that dress code as well. We would appreciate that. Hey parents, we're back and wanted to talk to you now about our STAR expectations. Your kids may come home talking about Starbucks. They are not talking about the coffee company. That is not what they're talking about.
We do not juice them up with coffee while they are here, but we do provide them with our version of Starbucks.
That's right. Ms. Thomas, what do they get Starbucks for?
Well, anything that we are focusing on the month, we try to have character expectations every month. It could be for showing respect, treating others with kindness, showing a way to always be safe, and then always trying their best and reaching for the stars. So we're always looking to reinforce one of those positive behaviors.
That's right. And so teachers and staff will hand out little tickets to them for displaying those things.
We should have brought one up
We
here.
should have brought one up here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a fail.
Yeah,
All right, we'll do it better next year.
Next year.
So, but kids will be coming home talking about those things. They keep track of those tickets in their classroom, and then periodically throughout the school year, usually at least every month, we will have them count those up, and we will do rewards for kiddos who have accumulated a very high number of Starbucks for making good choices. Hey parents, I am here in the classroom for this next point. I want to talk with you about attendance and absences, because the most impactful thing that you can do as a parent to help your kid in the world of education is just to get them to school on time every day. You know, we talk about so many other things in terms of helping your kids with their schooling, but really and truly, if you can get them here every day, then our teachers and staff can take care of the rest. However, when it comes to absences, please send in a note within 3 days with your child's name, the date of the absence, and the reason for the absence. You can send that to your child's teacher, and she will get it up to the front office for us to take care of that. If you know that you are going to be out ahead of time, we ask that you send in excuse notes for prearranged absences a week ahead of time, so 5 days prior notice. Also, as a reminder, tardy bell rings at 8:20 this year. That is new, 5 minutes earlier, so make sure you set your clocks. And when it comes to tardies, 3 unexcused late check-ins equals 1 unexcused absence, and 3 excused late check-ins equals 1 excused absence. Of course, those excused reasons for tardies are essentially the same as they would be for absences. So we're talking about illnesses, doctor's appointments, or perhaps a special event that is approved in advance by administration. Hey boys and girls and moms and dads, we are here in the clinic. We wanted to talk to you. Do you not feel well, Miss Thomas?
I don't, I'm hungry.
Oh, well that's not an illness.
Oh, okay.
That's just hunger.
Okay.
Hunger pains. It is a pain.
It is a pain.
But no, that's not an illness.
Okay.
But boys and girls, you come to the clinic sometimes when you're not feeling well, and so parents, we wanted to talk to you about a little bit of information that is health related. And so, Ms. Thomas, why don't you go ahead and cover that?
Okay.
Since you're not feeling well.
Okay. So, one of the most important things that we wanted to talk to you about was actually administering medication to your child while they are here at school. That does happen on a daily basis. However, there are some procedures and policies that we need you to follow in order to make sure that that occurs safely. First of all, if your child does need medication, that medication must be delivered to the school by the parent.
Yep, kids can't bring it.
Not the child. And it must be delivered in its original container. That way we make sure that we've got the dosage and instructions right there on the package. So make sure it does come in the original container.
No Ziploc baggies.
No Ziploc baggies. Also, teachers are not allowed to receive medication from you or the student, so you do need to personally bring that into the nurse's office. And that does include things even such as over-the-counter medicines like cough drops. Those are considered medications as well that do need to be checked in with the nurse. Also, when you are bringing medications, please make sure that they are age appropriate for the student. So medicine that Mr. Price might take when he's not feeling well, it's probably not the same medication that a kindergartner should take. So please do make sure that they are the children version of the medication you want them to have.
Also, parents, want to talk to you guys about how things work when a kiddo does get sick here at school. Now, as you can imagine, primary age students love to come to the clinic for any ailment that you can think of, but there are some major ones that we, yeah, that goes down a little bit, Ms. Thomas.
Got it.
Yeah, so there are some major ones that we will send kids home for if they are running a fever, or if they're vomiting or experiencing diarrhea symptoms. We do send kiddos home for that. And so the nurse will be contacting you to let you know that you'll need to come pick your kiddo up. Also, if your kiddo is sick with any of those symptoms, they must be symptom-free for 24 hours, and that is unmedicated. Symptom-free for 24 hours, unmedicated. before they can return to school. So the other things, kids will come up here for, if they are seen in the clinic, our health tech will be contacting you and letting you know that they were up here. But generally, if they are little things, we are trying to preserve instructional time. And so for those instances, we try and send kiddos back to class where we can. Ms. Thomas, is there anything we missed?
Who is the nurse anyway?
Where is our health tech? Come here, Miss Riley.
There she is.
There she is. All right, guys. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Hey parents, here in the cafeteria to talk to you about lunches and breakfast. Got a lot of information here, so this clip will be a little bit lengthier than some of the others. We do serve breakfast and lunch daily, and so your kiddos will have an opportunity to eat breakfast and lunch. Breakfast is self-serve, so kids will make their own decisions to come down to breakfast. If that's something that you don't want your kid to do, you may want to reach out to our cafeteria staff and let them know to put a restriction on your child's account. On that note, you can manage your child's account in many different ways. You can put all kinds of different restrictions on there. So that's a good thing for you guys to know and be prepared for. So if that's something that you have concerns about, please check in with our cafeteria staff for those things. Breakfast is $1.05. Lunch is $2.60. You can manage your child's account and put money in there as they need it through myschoolbucks.com. It is a free account. You can manage and pay things online. You will need your child's 10-digit student ID number for that account and to be able to manage it, so that's something that you can get from your child's teacher. Also, as an added bonus, there is a $1,000 donation that they will make to schools that have the most new accounts by October. So if you don't have an account already, we certainly would appreciate you creating one, and you may help us achieve that goal. So we do offer a la carte items in our cafeteria, such as ice cream, sports drinks, and chips. Those things are not included in your child's lunch price. Those are for additional purchases. And so, like I said, if you want to be able to place restrictions on your child's account from being able to purchase those things or only purchase them on certain days, you will need to speak with our cafeteria staff about that. Also, when it comes to those items, and especially for ice cream purchases, our cafeteria staff does encourage kiddos to eat as much of their food as possible before moving on to the sweets. We figure that's probably an expectation that most of you have at your own homes, and so we try to mirror that here at our school. When you send in money, if you send it in through the classroom teacher, make sure you put it in an envelope that is marked with your child's name and the teacher name. Also, we ask that you don't bring any fast food or cupcakes for birthdays and things like that to the cafeteria. There's lots of health restrictions, and we have some kiddos who have allergies and things like that. And so the cafeteria is not the best place to share those things. If you're working on bringing cupcakes or something like that for a birthday, please coordinate that with your child's teacher. Also, one thing that we do ask, most of you know that we do welcome our parents to come up here and have lunch with your kiddos when you guys want to, but for the first 2 weeks of school, we ask that there are no visitors and no volunteers, and that includes coming up and having lunch with your kiddos. So I know that's something that you guys want to do, and you've spent all summer with them, and you're looking to kind of ease the transition into school, but we really are working on establishing those routines and making sure that our kiddos know who to go to in the lunchroom for help, and knowing that they need to depend on our school staff here for those needs that they have. Once we get to the 3rd week of school, we will send out notification welcoming all of you guys to come up and have lunch as you choose. Hey parents, just got a few more items to cover with you here in our pre-planning orientation information session. Appreciate you being patient with us and staying with us through all of this information. I realize that it is lengthy, and I know that some of these things for some of you guys who've been around for a while may be old. It may be old information for you, but these are things that, like I said, will help make things roll a whole lot smoother during the school year if you're aware of these things. I want to talk more now a little bit about homework. At this age, there's not a lot that kids can do independently, and so every once in a while we find ourselves having conversations with parents about homework and kind of why we do it and what it's for. So at this age level, we assign homework for two primary reasons, and these reasons kind of mirror what we see in research. Homework at this age is most effective when it is used for independent practice and extra practice, and so that's why we send a little bit home. Also, we use it as a way to keep parents informed as to what things kids are working on in class at this time. So really, those are the two reasons that we give homework at this age level. Of course, it develops and gets them into good school habits as they move forward, because we all know that they will have homework as they get older. In terms of amounts, we try not to be overly burdensome with these things and limit it to no more than 30 minutes a night. We realize that you guys have a lot going on and everybody's busy, and so we try not to overburden. But what I will tell you is, if you have a question about homework or concerns, especially if your child is demonstrating a lot of frustration at home with trying to complete these things, I would encourage you to reach out to your child's teacher, have a conversation with her about what you're experiencing and what you're seeing, and she will be more than happy to help you out.
Hey boys and girls, welcome back to school. Hey, at PE it's very important that you wear the right kind of shoes. We want you to wear tennis shoes so you're safe and you're able to perform at your absolute best. Looking forward to seeing you.
Okay, boys and girls, it's time to line up for PE. One of these things is not like the other. Two of these things are not like the other. What shoes do you think will work best at PE?
Okay, next I want to talk about lost and found. Sometimes this doesn't seem like a big deal, but believe it or not, kids have a hard time keeping up with their stuff, and so I know you know nothing about that at all, but seriously, kiddos from time to time will lose their things. We want to be able to return those items to them, but we can't do that if we don't have names on them. So I would encourage you to label all of your children's outerwear, such as jackets and things like that. Also, please put their names on their lunch boxes and their backpacks, so that if for whatever reason they do misplace those things, we can get those back to them. Also, when we have items that are lost, our lost and found is in the cafeteria, and so you guys are welcome to check that out pretty much at any time. We have it down there so that you guys can check that out if you happen to come in for lunch with your child and things like that. But please, 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 please label your child's items so that we can get those back to them. Now, birthdays, that's something else that comes up from time to time. I know that there's going to be times where we want to celebrate outside of school, and so often we get asked about sending invitations for kids in class. We do permit invitations to go out through the classroom folders if the invitations are for either the entire class or for all of the girls in the class or for all the boys in the class if the birthday party is gender specific. So those are the ways to get those home through the binder. Treats may be served in the classroom, as I mentioned when I was sitting in there in the cafeteria, but please make the teacher aware when those treats are coming in, and make sure you've established and coordinated a time with her, and also make sure you inquire about allergies that may be present in the classroom. Also, we ask that you don't bring any balloons or flowers for children. Those things can actually, believe it or not, cause a distraction in the classroom, and so we would ask that you keep those things at home and give them to them when they get home. Also, for kiddos who are riding home on the bus, that's just something that is definitely going to be a hazard on the bus, so we ask that you do not send those to the school.
Let's talk about volunteers. We need them, right, Connie?
We do.
We need volunteers. Every year we have around 1,500 to 1,800 volunteers that actually come to our school and help out in lots of different ways. So here's how you do that this year. You do have to fill out an application. That application will be available at orientation. But Connie, what if they filled one out last year? Do they have to fill out another one?
You still have to fill one out every year.
Every year you've got to fill one out. What if they filled one out at their child's other school? Do they have to fill one out here?
Yes, they do.
That's right. So please make sure that you are filling out a volunteer application at West Navarre Primary School, even if you filled one out last year or at another school. We won't call you and ask you to make cookies or anything like that, but if you ever plan on going on a field trip this year, you will have to have a volunteer application on file. These applications do have to be board approved, so there is some lag time between the time that you apply and the time that you can actually begin the volunteer process. So please get that in as quickly as possible. We will only accept these applications
The first 9 weeks of school.
the first 9 weeks of school. So you have the first 9 weeks of school to get your volunteer application in. Thank you, volunteers.
Bye.
All right, the last items I have to talk to you about. First, I want to talk about School Advisory Council. This is a body of parents and staff members and community members who serve on a board that supports our school. We accept nominations for this body each year. We usually do that process at the beginning of the year, and so if you have someone that you would like to nominate or you would like to nominate yourself, there are nomination slips available, and you can submit those. We will take those nominations today at orientation. If you're watching this today, that is today at orientation, but we'll accept those then. And then we will do a round of voting at open house when that occurs in September for those folks who have been nominated. So we'd love to have your support and your activity in that group if you so desire. Now, Title I, just so that you're aware, West Navarre Primary is a Title I school. If you're not familiar with that, that means that we receive federal funding based on our percentage of free and reduced lunch kiddos. And so this money is spent on professional development, family engagement, and other expenses that will benefit children in the classroom. And so that is the way that we determine that is based on our free and reduced lunch percentage. And so that is where that money comes from and what it is used for. In terms of family engagement, we try to do plenty of activities throughout the year. We also have a parent resource center, and we are actively working on our family engagement plan and our parent school compact, and you will get information about that very soon through your child's teacher. Also, as a part of our Title I status, I am obligated to let you know that you do have the right to request the qualifications and credentials of your child's teacher in terms of whether or not they are teaching in field and whether or not they are highly qualified. Actually, all of our teachers and staff members are in field and highly qualified, but if you had specific questions, I'd be happy to help you with those as well. You are also obligated to know your child's performance on state testing. We don't take state testing at this age level. That occurs beginning in 3rd grade. However, we do take district assessments, and we will communicate your child's results on those assessments as they come. Also, you can find information on our school grade and our school public accountability report. Those links can be found on our website. WNPS is an A school, we are proud to say. And of course, there is all kinds of other helpful information that's available in our Parent Resource Center and through our school website. All right, parents and boys and girls, I appreciate you sticking with us through all of this video. I realize, like I said, that the information was lengthy, but it takes a lot of effort to keep an organization of 1,000 students moving in the right direction. These things that we shared with you today, hopefully you will find to be helpful in having a successful school year. As always, if you have any questions about anything that goes on at the school, you are welcome to speak with your child's teacher. She'll be happy to help you, and then additionally, if she is not able to, she will be able to point you in the right direction. And of course, as always, my door is open also, and I'm happy to take your phone calls if you have any questions. Thanks again for being a part of West Navarre Primary School. You guys are the reason that we are here, and we look forward to seeing you around.